Welcome back, everyone. It's been a while since I've put out any videos. I recorded a lot of footage this spring, planting and spraying and all that sort of stuff, but as you can see, we are well past planting. So I'm just finally getting these videos out for you. So we're gonna get caught up here. Enjoy. Welcome back. Good morning. As you can see behind me, there's not much left in the shed. We're moving stuff out and gonna get that guy, that guy over there hooked up and pull him out and attempt to get the planter ready for spring. So all we got left in here is 2 wagons and a planter and a mower. So this will adjust here outside. The skid loader been moving stuff around. That mover, that's one of the best investments I've ever made. So we get the tractor out, the platform, the tank. I gotta go get a new tank for that next week, so we won't bury that thing again. And then that tractor I used to pull that planter out, or that wagon out. And now I'm gonna go, I gotta take the quick hitch off of it, unhook that wagon, take the quick hitch off, and then I can come back and hook up the planter. So I think we'll pull the planter out and go back in here. I'll probably stick that wagon over in the corner, leave the center open here so I can back the planter straight in here and work on it, and then I'll shove the fertilizer tender and the platform back here along the wall. And I should have just done that last fall so I could just pull the planter out this spring without moving everything, but I wasn't thinking. Well, there's always next year, right? Do that next year. All right. I just come out to the farm here and my parts for the planter showed up. Alright, so if you didn't watch my videos last spring, these are the newer style wheels. Have the plastic outer so they don't rooster tail dirt. The dished in ones, like what are on my planter, they'll get loose dirt in there and then it'll fling out. Not that that's that big of a deal, but this just kind of keeps debris and everything out. So these are pretty good. They have a nice lip to them yet. They're better than the ones I have. They're fairly worn on the outside, but not horrible. I'm guessing from the looks of it, these might have been a no-till, off a no-till planter. I don't know. The bearings are just So, I picked these up. These were takeoffs off of somebody's planter, and what I'm doing is putting a new bearing in. So from Shoop, I order these bearings. My planter uses the roll pin style. I thought about changing to the style that's on those, but I don't know. So what I do is I take this back plate off, pull that bearing out, put a new bearing in, and then I put these updated arm kits from Shoop. So this is what they are. They use, instead of using shims on both sides, it uses this threaded nut that will slide your gauge wheel arm in or out to get the correct depth there, to get the correct spacing between your gauge wheel and the seed blades. So there's this lip here, and you want that lip just touching or almost touching the seed blades when it's in plant position. Over time, these hit against the seed blades, dirt, other things like that. They tend to wear down this lip You see that lip will wear down flat, and that's kind of the situation I'm in my planer. It's wore down to about here on a lot of these blades. So you can see it's quite a bit of material that's missing. So that's why I'm going through, and I like these adjustable arms much easier, much better. With the shims, if you have to adjust it, you have to pull it off, pull the whole wheel, arm, everything off, grab your shims, pull them out, slide it back on, put your shims back on, test it, see if it's right. If it, usually it's not, pull it off again, change your shims around again. You do that several times until you get it right. With these, you can just turn this, get it right to where you want it, and then tighten your nut down, and you're good. So I like these style arms much better, and nice new bearing. I got one done. I got 9 more to go. Well, 8 more to go, and a 9th one we got to rebuild the whole rubber and everything. But so I'm just gonna keep working here. So I got a pile of gauge wheels all rebuilt, new arms, new bearings, and some parts and some tools. We're gonna head over to the shed. You can see it's raining today, and we're gonna go back over in the shed and work on this. I got more to build yet, but I ran out of arms, so we'll have to do that another day. I'm just gonna get done what I can for today. Okay, so I went through my notes from the other day when I went through these, and row 1, the only thing I had was I need new scrapers. So I got these new carbide scrapers. I'm gonna try running a couple sets of those. So row 2, it says I need a gauge wheel, and then row 3 needs 2 gauge wheels and a closing wheel. So I'm going to start on the first 3 rows there. Well, these are the stock scrapers, and as you can see, this one is pretty wore out. I don't remember planting in the mud last year, but after, because it was pretty dry for all planting, but after I got done, a couple weeks later, I went back and planted some sweet corn, and I think that's probably where this came from. So anyway, I'm going to swap these scrapers out with the carbide style, which are right here, and we'll see how that looks. There they are, the new scrapers. And then I was checking my seed blades here. So what you do is you take 2 pieces of paper, you slide one between the blades down until it stops, slide one up between the blades till it stops, then measure the gap between them. I got about 1 3/4 inches in here. You want somewhere between 1.5 inches and 2 inches. So those are adjusted correctly, and we got new scrapers on, so I can put this back together, and I'll set the gauge wheels while I'm putting them back on, and this row unit will be done, and we can move on to the next one. Okay, here's row 3. So this is the closing wheel. Obviously has a bad bearing. So these closing wheels are a pain to replace. There's a roll pin up in there, right there. You gotta take a roll pin punch and hammer that roll pin out, and then take I bought a special tool, we'll try it, and pry that wheel out. So that's what I'm gonna do. I can't hold the camera at the same time. Okay, I got the roll pin hammered out of there. There's the new gauge wheel from Shoop. They're all plastic, where these are cast aluminum, I believe. But those should last just fine. Here is this monster removal tool. So we'll see how this works. So far it's wasn't so bad. Actually, works pretty decent. Now, the hardest part is getting that hole lined up with that hole so you can get the pin back in. The weather is just beautiful today, which makes me want to go work ground. But the problem is, the weather's supposed to turn crappy tomorrow. In fact, there's a chance of snow and mixed precipitation tomorrow. So that's a much better day for sitting in a tractor. By tomorrow night, if it's dried up, if we don't get much, which we've missed every rain we were supposed to get, so who knows, we probably won't get much. But I can sit in the tractor when it's cold. It's gonna be cold the next 2 days. I'd rather be outside working on stuff I need to get done while it's nice and warm. Got all the bands loose for the tank here. I just gotta take the bolts off on the other side and pull the bands off, and then figure out if that skid loader can reach high enough to lift this out of the cradle. That's not how I planned for it to come out, but it's working. I'm gonna take the bottom bung off. Well, it's not all deep and not ideal, but we got it out of there. We're gonna go attempt to put it down. That bung, I was hoping to get out of there, but it's not coming out. Well, I just came over here, made a rookie mistake. I came over here and looked at this tank for the first time. I trusted the guy when I picked it up. He said it was plumbed for 2-inch. And it's not plumbed at all. There's no hole there. So I gotta go get some bungs and some fittings and find somebody skinny enough to get in that hole, or maybe we can roll it up on its side and I can reach my arms in far enough to get in there to push the bung through and hold it. So we won't be putting this back in the running gear today, but let's go over and look at the running gear. It's gonna be funny looking without a tank on it. Well, there it is. It looks awfully odd without a tank on there. My wife made me this great meal. I just heated that up. Sit here listening to music out of the truck and enjoying this nice weather. I'm gonna have lunch. So here's the best way I've found to get the barb fitting into this pipe here. What you need to do is take the torch, heat this pipe, get that those rubber bands or the plastic bands on that nice and soft, and then take Dawn dish soap and smear it all over the fitting, and you can smear some around down inside of there too, and then it'll just push right in real nice like a glove. Just don't forget your clamp on there first. I decided I'll try to, we'll see, hopefully you can see this. I try not to heat it too fast. I just want to slowly make it nice and warm, keep the heat in there. I don't want to melt anything, but I want to get it nice and warm and keep that heat. Okay, then we put a little Dawn dish soap in there. And put a little Dawn Dish soap on here. Then I just take that. Pushes right on. Just like that. It's a good thing I decided to put some water in this before I take it to the co-op and fill it with a starter. We got a leak. There she is, all ready to go. I wish I would have had time to paint those straps black and the saddle, rest of the saddle black. I think that would have looked a lot nicer, but I'm just happy it's done. I had to take off the front and rear sideboards. There was a board, used to be a board running across there. It just holds our hose, but it's this tank is longer than the old one. It fits a little funky on that saddle. You see the straps aren't centered so much as they were on the old one, but that's not a big deal. It's on there, it's tight, it's not going anywhere. I got 500 gallons of water. I don't know if you can see the water line. There you can see it. I have 500 gallons of water in there. It doesn't appear to be dripping anymore. I didn't do much. I got on there, I tried to tighten the nut. It moved just a tiniest smidge, and that's it. So hopefully, I figured the starter will probably seal it if it's still trying to drip. So we got all our new fittings on here. We got a new 3-inch fill. So we got a 2-inch fill and a 3-inch fill, which is really nice. Now I can, if I ever need to use this to tend a sprayer or something like that, I can. And is the old 4440 ready to roll. We had an oil change and a planter. My buddy had a couple buddies come over help me this morning. They got all the row cleaners or the trash whippers, whatever you want to call them. They got them all on the planter, so I'm excited for that. I've never had row cleaners before, but with our heavy residue we have, I'm really hoping that helps our emergence a lot, getting that trash off the row. So this tractor's about ready. I just updated the 2020 and hooked up the iPad. Got that all ready to go, and last thing I need to do is pull the steering out of that tractor. So I'll pull the steering out of that tractor, put it over in this tractor for planting, but I want to go try and work a little bit of ground yet before I pull the steering out. So we'll leave it there. So that's gonna do it for this video. Thanks everyone for watching, and stay tuned for the next one.